Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. Sorry that we happened to, look at all those. Oh no, it's because my waste screen didn't have the thing in there. That means a whole bunch of the beautiful, beautiful gift subs that were sitting in the jar kind of got hid in the way. Sorry about that. I could fix that for next time. Anyways, so the, sorry we took so long to come back. We were talking about how if you Google Citizens Bank logo, it's a bank in the United States, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for the Royal Bank of Scotland, which used to own Citizens Bank. You'll actually see a cat ass. This came up because Neil was trying to show off the privates of his cat. All of us got grossed out, except for me, who brought up that fun fact. Google Citizens Bank logo, and you'll see it. That's right. They wear on their logo the kind of service they deliver.
My cat is an adult. Who she decides to show her butt to is her decision, all right?
How old's your cat? How many months?
How many months? She's well over a year, my friend.
Okay, well, usually parents just describe their children in months until they're like 2.5. It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, but cats.
You're telling me Chloe didn't, to some small degree, celebrate Mother's Day?
Also, our Mother's Day is different to your Mother's Day.
Yeah, but I thought it was before ours.
Yeah, like months.
Oh, really? Like February?
Like totally different.
Oh, when's yours?
I'll check that for you now.
You don't know?
Fuck no.
Sounds like somebody's moms are less obnoxious.
You think I fucking know any dates? I get alerted like 2 weeks leading up to, by the way.
You could say like early June or something, you know, and that
14th of March.
I don't know the month.
Oh, it's just 2 months in advance. Yeah. Ours was the 10th of May this year.
Months.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Months. Okay. Anyways, I'm just saying that Chloe might be a better human than most. The number of fur mummies I heard talked about on Sunday was, I'm like, yeah, that's nice. That's cute. So cute. Go away. No, it's my Mother's Day too.
No, we wouldn't have like a fur Mother's Day. Because Artie's my actual human child.
I knew you shaved. So anyways, that's why he's always late to the call. So you guys
I just
are,
imagine Neil in the cat's makeup and
I was
CGI.
I was late one time.
all right, cool.
I wasn't
You
late.
boys
I was here on time.
step through the portal. Step through the portal. And are of course immediately greeted by the cold mountain air, late in the day. Late in the day, and so on and so forth when you get out there. This is Nathan's first time coming here. Nathan, it's beautiful. It smells so wonderful. As a matter of fact, you know this smell. You kind of familiar with it. I mean, you saw the map room. You're not an idiot. You can put 2 and 2 together and about where this is. But the mountains on Western Idir, your people move around Idir. They're a bit nomadic. You've been here before, but probably not in not countless, but many years. Probably not since you were a boy. So you know this smell. It's washing machine. I was like, what is that noise? No, you're fine. You're fine. I was like, is that a dog panting? I was like, Phaedril? So you know this smell. It's just been years since you've been here. Anyways, you come stepping through the portal, and you're greeted by the smell and the few guards that still happen to be watching over the region. When you come walking through, the guards turn to you. Chosen? You here for a report?
No, but I'll have one anyway.
We don't go to the valley any longer. We stay up aloft in the keep. We've barricaded the door down below, the one that we were warned of the traps on the handle. And we've put up an additional barricade over near where the broken bars are along the stairwell, in case they should get through the door. A couple of times we thought they might. The additional barricade at the bars, we imagine, wouldn't hold them too long, but give us a few extra moments to at least get everybody out if need be. And beyond that, we keep all of their entrances from the bottom of the keep up to the primary area locked and secured. We often keep watch out on the balcony the presence of Athena. I almost said it too. The presence of Athena seems to keep the ones that can fly at bay. But that doesn't change the fact that they're about. At
The
first,
ones
they.
that fly.
Would I have any idea what they're talking about?
Nope.
Okay.
The creatures.
I wasn't aware they could fly.
We weren't either until a few days ago. There is a strange circumstance that transpired over the course of the past several weeks. As you know, when they first came out, they kind of hid into the brush in the mountains. We didn't see too much of them, just random occurrences. Then they got a bit bold and started to attack the bottom of the keep, as I said. Twice they almost got in. They didn't. Fortunately for us, the tribe that lives near here interacted with them. We saw the gruesome battles. If that tribe remains, there's not many left. Those
Which
gnolls,
tribe? The Knolls.
the gnolls, vile creatures as they may be, I don't think they deserved that. Either way. Then, I don't know if they're changing, or if we just didn't notice them before. But occasionally we've seen them aflight. We get attacked from above. We lost a guard. It was in a report that was sent back before, through to Kithel. And we decided to only stay inside the keep from that point. We can't defend ourselves overhead from down below. Too great a chance of being struck by an arrow set for defense. Again, the presence of Athena seems to hold them at bay when they strike. We've only seen the flying ones 3, 4 times, but they're out there.
I would turn
Is there
to.
any pattern to the attacks?
No. No.
What are these
sometimes-
creatures?
You turns to you, you say, where are?
I said, what are? And I say it openly to like one as well. I'm just
Okay.
like, what are these creatures?
He when you ask that question, he opens his mouth and then he closes it and looks at one, and you can clearly see he's trying to get approval.
One nod.
When a certain, I'll be honest with you, sir, what transpired here some months ago, I don't fully understand. Yawn. I don't fully understand, but when it happened, there was a release from inside this keep of various creatures of different physiology. They're frightening. They're strange. They're chaotic. And they seem to feast on us. I don't know if they're beasts or some additional affliction of the dead that walk these lands now. I wish I could give you a better description, but there are too many descriptions to give. We do have one of the men. I use this word liberal. I'm taking liberty with this word. Decent at drawing. He's tried to sketch up some description of them as we see them when they're moving about in the valley below.
I would like to see one of these drawings, but I believe we have more pressing matters as he turns back to one.
I can have the entire thing sent, either copied over or the original sent over to Kurzfall. And the reason why we've held on to it is because we're trying to keep track of what we've learned of them there. Almost a bit of a manual of these monsters.
Keep doing what you're doing for now. We are going to see if we could borrow the bird. So bar the door to the.
We've left that
the
open. They don't attack the keep. So
You said the flying ones were kept at bay by the bird. If we take the bird, they may make an attack.
would you rather us bar it and have our eyes closed to the world beyond? Or would you rather us keep it open and just be on guard?
Keep it open, be on guard. If they do attack and you have time, get through and try and bar them out.
He nods. I'll of course follow your commands. Oh, one more thing, Chosen.
Yes.
Might I ask who it is that joined you?
This man is Nathan. He is the. Are you a warden or marshal?
Marshal. Marshal.
He is the new marshal.
Oh, as an auxiliary to Valoran, would we be reporting to the marshal rather than Kithel? It's up to you.
Keep reporting how you've been reporting for now. We'll get established better protocol, soon.
He says, he'll extend his hand to shake yours and says, I'm Lieutenant NPC, and and we'll walk with you guys over to where Veronica is. And open, I don't know why that name is now stuck. And then there you guys go walking to the door and you open it up and you can see that the bird is not immediately there. It's soaring around in the sky beyond. You can almost immediately see it. You can see the big empty nest, but you can see the bird. You walk out onto the balcony and you can see down below. Roll me a perception check, both of you. His name is Lieutenant Joey. I'm saying now his name is Lieutenant Joey. He's useless.
Named. He's gonna die.
I like Vince Exel's response. Lieutenant NPC? Awesome. So, Nathan, you looking out there, you're able to see, of course, as we discussed beforehand, the bird that's out there flying around. You're actually also able to, unfortunately, see many bodies out in the valley below. Let me describe this to you because I don't think you've ever seen this scene before. This is a valley in a hillocky, almost mountainous area that's over here. I mean, these are technically hills or technically mountains. I don't know the technicality of what defines one versus the other one in the real life, but it is on that border between the two, right? Like it is pretty mountainous, but could just be hills. Doesn't matter. Anyways, this is a valley that exists in a region that's surrounded by, like peaks and whatnot around you. And in the valley that's below, you can see it stretches pretty far and pretty wide. Built into the side of one of these mountain walls is, of course, the keep with this balcony, half moon or crescent shape coming off of it. You're able to walk out onto the balcony. The bird's nest is almost like an antechamber that overlooks the balcony. On the inside, and inside there is the primary room of this keep, whatever. So out on the actual balcony, you can see down and below into the big valley. You can see that there's a couple of buildings, old, dilapidated, falling apart buildings from who knows how many decades or centuries before that it's only the stone that remains, right? You can also see a ton of corpses down there. I mean, maybe 5 dozen gnolls dead on the grounds below. I mean, I suppose that's good news. It's something you guys don't have to deal with anymore, so plus there. But you can also see, of course, Athena flying around overhead in the skies, kind of weaving in and out of the clouds that are there. One of the other things that you get beyond the fresh mountain air and unfortunately seeing the corpses down below is the sense of majesty, of beauty, and of freedom that Idir offers. This literally is the country that you were born into and have grown to love. This is the land that sways you. No, you don't get that sense that you got when you were in Kurzweil. You don't get that if you were going to ask, and I know you were. But you do get the sense of this is Idir. This is the embodiment of it. It's wild. It's beautiful. It's treacherous but kind and nurturing. It's a wonderful thing. Jake, you see more than that? Yeah, you see those corpses down below. Absolutely. You also see movements down in the brush below. you see these strange creatures, these small, I've described them beforehand, almost furry, almost like hedgehog-esque hair that go behind them with almost like wolf-like faces that are down there. Creatures down below, scattering about, running around here and there. You see other strange forms down below, but also with your fucking 30, you're actually also able to see pretty far off in the peak. There's a small fire that's lit over there. It's too difficult to make out what is over there, what has that small fire on the mountainside, but you can actually see there is a small fire lit over there. So you imagine there's some sort of gathering of someone or something. It's too far to make all the details without a magical or mundane, science way of magnifying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boys.
Can I try and take as much of a mental note of the vicinity that it is?
My apologies.
I kind of just want to take a mental note of where roughly
where
that
is.
fire is.
Yeah, of course, because you can swing by on Athena to make that happen, of course.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we have more pressing issues at the moment. So
what's really fun is that one is going to have a moment where he can describe and introduce what kind of creature this is to you, Nathan. Jake, would you like to take that away? Because this never gets old for me.
Sure. He'll look to you as he sees the bird in the air, and he just says, you can speak to it, right?
Yeah, I can probably speak to it. He looks up at the bird. What does the bird look like?
You suddenly got much, much louder and more bassy. Did you change your microphone or your input?
I changed nothing.
His balls dropped.
My balls finally dropped.
It definitely does sound very different.
Yeah, you went from, all right, well, it's fun to be here, to, hello, everybody, welcome to the show.
No, I didn't change anything. I ate an orange. I don't know if that...
It sounds as if you're sick, but also then still turned it down more.
Yeah, I don't know. You're fine. We can hear you perfectly fine. It's just, it literally sounds like your input changed from one microphone to another. That's how drastically different it is.
Oh, maybe that happened.
Yeah, it'd be I can't even show you what. Because I disabled all my other microphones on my computer, so I can't accidentally.
How's that?
Yes.
My input literally changed from one to another. I'm not sure why.
What was it before, and what is it now?
It went from this to my webcam.
That used to happen to Ollie all the time.
I bet it's your Windows update.
Yep.
Because you've got updates right now, haven't you?
I do. I canceled all of them, but yes.
Yeah.
Windows doesn't let you cancel them these days, properly at least.
Yep.
Well, I basically postponed them for 7 days.
All right, go ahead.
I would just ask I would say yes, and I would look up at the bird. What does it look like? Does it look like a natural bird?
Roll me knowledge nature check.
Nature.
It's going to land and it's going to have Valrin's face.
Jeez. Guys, I got the bad lucksies. That's just my character just isn't meant to be good at anything.
Do you want to roll luck?
No, I don't.
You look up and you just see a giant bird. You can't really identify what it is with how far it is and how it's weaving through the.
I mean, that is what it is. It's a giant bird.
Yeah, I'm good.
But there's no specific details. You could be like, that's a pack of smoke. So you could be like, oh, that's actually menthol cools. I don't know.
I understand it. I will, without casting a spell, I will call to the bird. Just I would make it known that we want to speak with it, I guess. Waving or whatever. Gather its attention, however I deem it.
Well, don't you have a specific skill for doing that?
I don't know if I do have a specific skill for doing that.
Wild empathy? Wild empathy?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I might have wild empathy. Well, I might not have that, actually.
Yeah, I think it got modified to a different version.
Yeah, I think it's modified to elemental empathy.
Scott, if those mentals don't exist,
in chat,
let's go into business. I'm down for that branding.
I mean, granted, the best tobacco does come from the United States, but ew.
Doesn't the best of anything that harms you come from the US?
Sure.
I mean, I come from the US, so.
And he harms.
He harms.
He harms you good, daddy.
Oh, damn.
Bloop in chat, sir.
Oh, it's definitely for elementals.
So elemental ally can improve it to just functions. So you have a -4 and not on non-elemental outsider. Oh.
Yeah, it's changed.
Okay. Nope. Gotcha.
Yeah, I would just try to gather its attention. Like I'm not trying to gather its favor or anything like that. I just want to come down here so I can speak to it.
Sure, you
So
just holler out to it like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cast a spell and then just start yelling, "Hey, bird! Hey, bird! You bird!" I'm gonna wait for it.
Yeah, bud. Nah,
Big
bud.
bird.
Wait for it to come here and then I'll cast a spell.
Sure. I mean, maybe it's you that calls the bird over, or maybe it's one using the mummer's ruff, like has been done before. But either way, the bird inevitably makes its way over. As it gets closer, I will, with a -4 modifier, allow you to re-roll that nature check because you get a better look at it. And just, I'm trying to be forgiving here because you're a druid, but if you don't make this, then you don't make it.
Okay.
With a -4 to 23, you get it. You realize this is a giant eagle. Now, the important thing of noticing it's a giant eagle is that giant eagles aren't just giant eagles. They actually are intelligent creatures. They actually are about as keen as a typical human. Maybe not all of them. Maybe some of them only about as keen as an orc, but that's fine. They cannot speak, but they instinctively, they're born understanding with their intellect, knowing Aurorum. They understand that.
They understand Aurorum, but they can't speak Aurorum.
Correct.
Either way, I'm gonna cast the spell.
Do you speak Aurorum?
I do speak Aurorum, but I want to be able to have a conversation with it, right?
That spell doesn't work.
Does it not?
Well,
because their intelligence is too high, is what you're saying?
Because it gives you the ability to speak with animals. Animals is a creature type. This creature type is magical beast.
Oh.
See, I just thought that it would be a beast. I thought all beast would be animals.
Yeah, that's 5e, unfortunately. 5e.
Yeah. Beasts are animals, you know.
5e is willing to say, like all pudding and jello are just the same thing. And it's like, well, no, tapioca and chocolate and jello are not the same thing. And 5e is like, nah, it's close enough. Like, no, they're very, very different textures and flavor. Yeah. Thanks, 5e.
I guess if that's the case, then I would speak Aurorum to it, and I would say I would turn to one and say, what exactly should I tell this thing? You have more rapport with it than I?
He'd look at you and say, I guess. Tell him that I assume he remembers me. Tell him that we're tell that's right. Yeah.
Tell him that we're here.
Yep.
Well, we're here.
No, that we're Valorant's friends and we need help.
All right. I will say in Aurorum that we are Valorant's friend and we need help via a ride on you. And I want to see like what its response is.
Sense motive. Yep.
Sense motive.
Your total of 21. You can see that the creature clearly understands what you're saying, and because it lands, whatever. It clearly understands what you're saying and gives you kind of like a head turn look, like it's kind of asking a question.
Okay. Where is it exactly that we need to go? One.
He'd give directions, but he would say, please tell it also. I know it was here with him at the end. And
tell him what?
That.
I'm sorry, tell him what. I didn't understand you.
That the bird was with Valorant at the end. And thank it for that.
Okay.
You tell him assisting is a crime.
I will say that, and then I would say we need to make it to, and I would describe the mushroom man, and to see if he would possibly even know already. And then if it seems as though he doesn't know, or if he seems to keep questioning, I would then give him the directions that we need to go, because I just didn't want to be condescending, like, oh, we need to go there. I mean, you know, when you go over there and you do this and that and get to, I just don't want to be that guy.
And again, I continue to say the joke. Do you know the Mushroom Man? The Mushroom Man. The Mushroom Man.
The mushroom man.
So 1 day of straight flight with this thing can actually fly 64 miles.
Jeez.
That's without any form of magical aid or anything like that. It can just fly as a crow flies, right? As a bird flies. 64 miles straight. There are ways to enhance that, of course. The keep from where it is that you're looking to go is about 90 plus miles.
Ooh.
So it would take 8 hours of flights to get you there, which isn't so bad. It's just if there was a way for you to enhance that. Now, I believe there actually is a druid spell to enhance creatures' movement speeds, overland movement speed. It's called like Wind at Back or something along those lines.
I mean, look, I don't know. I don't have it moved over. I definitely don't have it. Let's see. Gust of wind?
Wind at Back may have been
Let's see. The creature saves burst of air 50 miles an hour from you, affecting all creatures. All flying creatures in this area take a -4. That's not good.
No.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Nathan-
Nathan's
give it
more of the
X.
burn the forest down druid and let the new life grow rather than the like shags animals druid, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
That took a weird turn.
Also,
it is-
Scott, do I think
it
this
is
thing
a-
could hold me, one and a mushroom man?
you don't know about the Mushroom Man, but it definitely can hold you in one. It's pretty large. This creature
Mushrooms
just
are pretty
describe-
light.
Just well, you don't know the size of the mushroom. You've never met him. You're
Okay.
talking about his perspective. This creature is 15 feet tall with a 30-foot wingspan. It weighs about 500 pounds. So, and it can carry. I mean, it could carry away a horse if it needed to. It just would usually drag it low along the ground, right?
I'm
Wind
also.
at Back is actually a 4th level druid spell. Do you have 4th level spells?
I do have 4th level spells.
Mm-hmm. 1 creature per level, duration 12 hours, more or less. It doubles your overland speed of all subjects, assuming they are traveling together and in the same direction. This includes pack animals and mounts. So it doubles your overland speed. So instead of, what did I just say, 64, it would actually be 128 miles it can travel in 8 hours.
Fuck.
I would do that. I would have to prepare it the next day. I would have no problem doing that. It's just a matter of I didn't see that spell anywhere, so I couldn't.
It's technically a 3.5 spell, but I'm perfectly fine with a spell like that, being something that your character would be familiar with, being a nomadic
Who has a mount too? Yeah.
druid, yeah, and so on and so forth. I'm perfectly fine with that. Beyond that, I mean, memorizing spells. Did you choose for you to memorize your spells at dawn or dusk?
I neither. I memorized them like noonish.
It was like noonish. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could say I'm technically speaking, you didn't have it prepared, but for the sake of this plan to work, again, I have no problem with being like, yeah, that's fine. You have it ready. You know what I mean? Your character's day-to-day
Right.
job is literally to travel throughout the land and watch over the different areas. You didn't know that the spell existed, so I'm fine with retconning, saying that you have it on your list and you would even have it memorized so you can do your task. Okay?
Also, we kind of planned out what we were going to do, except we were going to Vigil originally anyway. So
Correct.
if that's any,
I'm perfectly fine with it.
Okay.
So Wind at Back is a great spell. So again, just so everybody knows, it is from the Spell Compendium book, 3.5. I have the book over there. It allows you to double your overland speed, not to combat or anything like that. So cool. You'd be able to more or less, you would place your hand on the bird, and you would so after you come to this understanding, you go climb onto the bird. One climbs up a bit clumsily, but gets up there, and you with.
I would like to cast a spell before.
Sure, please.
Thank you. Heroism.
Sure.
Thank you.
Why?
well, this bird's going to take off, and I'm going to have to make a ride check, and I would love that +2.
I knew that was why. Just so you know, we've nearly had people die falling off this bird.
Nearly.
Oh.
More than.
I love how Jake's camera, as the stream progresses, changes slightly, so he always looks more and more Christ-like. He's got this like golden glow to him. He's got this like bronze golden glow. We're all
just
sitting
realized-
there-
True
we're all-
ASMR.
Yeah, seriously, we're all sitting there looking
Technically-
pale as fuck, and Jake's like, oh.
Look, all right, okay. Devil blood doesn't infuse you with a beautiful godly.
So, anyways, you climb onto the bird and are able to kind of like right as the bird is standing on the ledge about to fly, you can kind of like place your hand on the backside of the bird and incant the spell. Just takes a couple of moments to say the spell, and then all of a sudden you can literally feel the ruffle of the feathers as the wind starts to pick up from behind you. The bird dives off of the edge, and with the wind still at its back, it dives even faster towards the ground than any of you have ever seen before. This thing is effectively cannonballing towards the ground off this high up balcony and ledge. You are going at it at insane speeds there, Nathan. It's somewhat frightening when suddenly the bird does a hard turn and just takes off and starts skyrocketing. Of course, this does not come without its G-forces, causing you guys to make ride checks.
Once more with feeling.
Jeez, guys,
Oh, you might want to like that, buddy.
why can't I
Oh
roll
my god.
above a 5? Like,
Might want to go ahead and like that one. I don't really want to see Nathan go splat splat.
Mine has a +2
I've-
on top of this.
I've clicked roll lock. It's just a matter of when it happens.
Okay.
17.
I reckon it's a DC 15. Like it can't be higher than a DC 15. Right?
Anytime now, roll 20. Anytime you want to actually put the command through.
I want to click it again, but at the same time, I don't want to click it again.
Click it one more time. I can always give one back.
Okay, I've clicked it again now.
Jake, just in case, while we're waiting, in case we need to, could you go
Oh,
ahead
he's
and
got
roll me?
+2 on those.
Could you go ahead and roll me a reflex save?
Oh, really?
Yeah, just in case. We don't know if we need it or not.
He's got 17. Oh, right, yeah, to try and catch Nathan.
Roll 20. You can
Yeah,
do
man.
it. You can do it. Roll 20.
Might be worth.
Ooh.
Might be worth. I nearly said reflexing. I meant to say reloading.
Refreshing.
Well,
I'll
we
refresh.
don't know if it's ever going to come through or not because roll 20 is struggling.
I'm gonna
It's under a
refresh.
lot of pressure. All
Yeah.
right. There's a lot of sweaty nerds like us that
As-
want to play D&D right now.
As people have said in the Discord, they went right ahead and were more than happy to market their services to tons of people without spending any of the additional income on enhancing its
Do you think
servers.
we might get more people doing this? Yes, definitely. Should we get another server? No.
I just want a nice fat bonus. I am an American company.
Should I just roll a d4?
Yeah, go ahead. Just so we can get out of the way.
Oh.
He slips off the back of the bird right as you guys are starting to take off. And one just kind of instinctively, he knows. He grabs the bird in the right spot. He just
Through this.
pulls it
I have
back
a-
in.
Yeah.
I have a
Wait,
+9
is this
to
exact-
ride.
Wait,
Who else has a
is
+9 to ride?
What was last time?
Isn't that exactly what happened last time?
Yep,
It
this is what
Raylan
happens
slipped
to all
off
of us.
And one caught him and put him on.
Why do I have a +9 to ride and I can't ride something?
I think I'm the only one that hasn't fallen off the bird.
No, I think
Unless
so.
we've all fallen off the bird, I'm not sure.
I've definitely fallen off. Val definitely has definitely
I know you
fallen
used to.
off.
Twice. Once deliberately, once not so much.
So yeah, you grab him, you slide him back up, good to go, and you guys are flying. This thing is soaring. I mean, like crazy, crazy fast. You've never experienced this before. I mean, we're talking how many miles does this come down to? I actually want to give you the miles per hour. This thing is flying at 8 miles an hour. That is really fast for a sustained 8 miles an hour. That is, again, really fast. If you wanted to, it technically, because it's considered overland when you're at the 1 hour mark, It technically can fly as fast as 16 miles an hour at a consistency. It just has to make checks to do things like that, right? So if you're really trying to nudge this thing on to get there as quick as possible, you are welcome to do that. Do you want to hustle this thing?
Yes.
Okay. The first hour, it travels 16 miles an hour. Okay. So we know 60. We know it's what is it? 60 miles. Hustling for a second hour in between sleep cycles deals 1 point of non-lethal damage, and each additional hour twice as the damage taken during the previous hour. A creature who takes non-lethal damage from hustling becomes fatigue, meaning that they can still go, but they are going to be getting tired. So they can keep pushing and taking damage to do it. What are we doing for the bird to convince it to keep hustling? For one, you need to literally convince it to do this past the first hour. What do we say or do, One and Nathan?
I'm gonna pull some berries out of my pocket, and I'm gonna cast Good Berry, and I'm gonna feed him some good berries.
Oh yeah, that's the good
Nom
stuff.
nom 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 nom.
So after the first hour,
I have 4 berries.
what's the duration? 24 hours?
Let me post it in the chat. I think it lasts at least 24 hours. Let's see.
Just every 2 hours, give it berries.
1 day
Then
per
they'll
level.
last.
Well, that's
Yeah,
7 days.
Yeah, so they last 7 days, and I have 4 good berries. So
Subject to a maximum of 8 points, such curing in any 24-hour period. Okay, cool. So the first hour, you feed it a berry, and it's tired, but it can keep going. The second hour, you feed it 2 berries. Again, it's tired, but it can keep going.
Kills 1 point.
no,
of damage.
honestly, I would the second hour give it a berry again, and then the third hour I would give it 2 berries, if that worked.
So
Because
one,
I don't want to give you 1 and then 2 and then just be like, oh, here's the last one. So I want to do 1 and then 2. I was like, here's 1. Oh, here's something I've already given you. Here's some extra.
but okay. And again, what are we trying to do to convince it other than feed it berries? This is a person, you know.
Yeah. I would say.
I like berries.
I would let them. I
Neil,
would let
wanna
them
see
know.
you run for 5 hours straight. Do it. Do it.
I mean, this is a creature that's designed to do that, so it can walk. So I'd walk for 5 hours straight for
okay.
berries.
Now I want you to run for 5 hours straight with 50% of your body weight strapped to your back.
Walk.
Yeah, run. This thing's hustling.
I would.
No,
It's hustling.
It's walk.
It's legit
They did
hustling.
ask it to hustle, yeah.
Yeah.
Lies.
I would. I would say. I would make it. First off, can I make an animal handling check?
It's not an animal.
Ah,
It's a person.
it's an animal. Fuck you. It might have intelligence person, but it's an animal.
Is the druid here?
It's literally an animal.
It's not. It's a magical beast. It's very different.
It's an animal.
Look, it's
All right.
it's a giant owl, okay? A giant owl.
I would, I guess, if you said it was like a phoenix or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's not an animal, but
It's a magical beast that has whole different stats and mechanics and.
It's like
magical.
Whitehair. At Lord of the
Anyway,
Rings.
I would try to convince it by letting it know how dire the situation is and that a life is on the line. I would play that whole
Oof,
angle.
Guilt tripping it. You're like, you don't
Yeah.
want to be the cause of death for another chosen, do you?
Oh, no.
Throw in a couple. This is what Val would have wanted. Like,
Oh yeah,
a bit
nice.
of that.
Diplomacy.
Don't have a good diplomacy, guys. So here's where I
This is
roll
so
like
good.
I'm gonna roll well. Like, I'm gonna roll like
This
a.
is a nat 20 incoming, Will.
Chat,
Just believe.
chat. Before he rolls, does anybody want to toss him a Winifred's wisdom? I'll give you 10, 9, 8.
I'm gonna roll like a 15
seven,
and have a +1, so it's gonna be
six,
like,
The
oh,
irony
you
that
did a
I
20.
think Ellen would be better
4,
with this bird because of his diplomacy.
3, Will, 2, 1, and Will, roll that die.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yep. Do you want to
Sounds
luck
about
that?
right.
Do you want to
No.
luck that by any chance?
I couldn't even luck it if I wanted to.
Oh, that's right. We don't even know how many luck you have.
Don't even know if I have luck.
Let me see if I can actually. Where's
I've
Uh-huh.
clicked it probably 17 times.
luck pool? Display luck pool. Yeah, it's not going to show
So
me anything.
Athena could be friendly with us.
So
blame
just
me,
so you
Josh.
know,
Okay, so a
just so
luck
you know, you
roll
did
of
get a
4
Winifred's
could make
wisdom,
it.
so that is a 16. So you could try to luck it if you'd like.
If I have a
On.
16, I will roll a luck.
Do you want me to click luck for you?
Oh no, that was on a 4. That was on a 4 for so long, and then it's like, man.
We have an 18.
Okay. You convince the bird to push itself. So like you said, you give it 1 berry. So hold on. First of all, let's do 3 hours. 1 point, 3 points, and then 4 more equals 7 points of damage. By the end of that time, you've fed it 1, 1, and 2, all 4 berries. So you've healed 4 of its 7 points of damage.
Yes.
Does
Please.
the damage it takes, it doubles, but what if that damage is, because obviously it takes 1 point, then it has a good berry, so it's removed.
Yeah, but it's still it continues because you're still straining your body greater and greater and greater, right? The mechanic's not meant to be easily overcome unless you have spells like Lesser Restoration. All right, so anyways, so it still has 3 points of damage on it, nothing crazy. That was 3 hours of travel. That's 16 times 3. Let me get a calculator out so I can just keep track of all this. 16 times 3 equals 48 miles. You're going to try to get it to go a 4th hour. Plus 16. I will say that your diplomacy check was able to go 1 more hour with it. What do you do to mitigate this?
The next thing I would do is cast a
Has to
spell
play
on
a
him
barrier,
again.
He's
would...
like begrudging. Ugh, how dare I help this stupid bird?
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's the fact that it's not a bird. I'm not casting that if I clicked anything.
No.
That was you.
That was.
Cool. So you heal all the damage it takes after the next hour. So whatever it would have taken, which by the way would have been, what did I say, 4, would have been 8 more damage. 8 plus 3 is 11. That's it's back down to 0 injury. And you've traveled, what did we just say, 64 miles in total. That's 4 hours of hustling. That's crazy. That gets you literally almost all the way over to Forvin from where you are. Almost to Forvin. That's pretty friggin' far. You already crossed the river below. You're starting to fly over the forests now.
So we would need like 2
region.
hours left.
Yeah, about 2 more hours would probably get you there. Yep. What do you do?
I would
It's
want him
fatigue.
to push.
It is. It's very tired. Pushing on. It is borderline exhausted.
Yeah, if it's that, then I guess we're just gonna land here. I would look at one. I turn and look at him like, I don't think this thing can keep up with this much longer.
It can keep going, just not at this hasted pace.
Then I guess to have it continue less hasted, I would. Yeah.
Okay. It would probably land on a tree branch and have you guys climb off or whatever for about 5-10 minutes. Give it a moment to rest. When you climb back on, it would continue to fly, but at that slower pace. So at this point, what did we say it was in total? Just to be clear, because obviously hours matter. It is about 92 miles.
Yep.
So 92, take away 64, equals 28. And then this thing is currently traveling at 8 miles an hour. Divided by 8 equals another 3.5 hours to get there. So it takes you about 7.5 hours. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah, about 7.5 hours to get all the way to there. Why does that feel wrong?
I don't know.
4, 8.
7.5 hours total.
Let me make sure I get this right. 16 times 4 equals 64. Yeah. Plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Yep, and plus, yeah, so 7.5 hours total to get you there. Eventually, you see Vigil. You can actually see Vigil coming into view. You know Vigil's not your immediate target. Your immediate target is to get to, your primary target is to get to the Mushroom Man, who's just north of there. You have a pretty good understanding of where it is, but you need to roll me a survival check to determine it. And if you want to do anything else while you're in the air, give me a heads up now.
Say that again. Sorry.
Survival check, and if we want to do anything else, let them know.
This my survival.
You're able to identify where it is that the Mushroom Man is. It was a very, very important moment in your life, traveling through that region at that time that you did. So you remember it fairly keenly.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you
as
want
for
to do with the
anything
bird?
else we want to do, I would actually cast. Where is that? That to speak Oren, was it?
Yep.
And then I would say to it, thank you, Athena, for bringing us here with such haste. I know that it has been hard on you. I beg one more favor after we get here. There is a... he doesn't know what they're called. He doesn't know they're called Nemomycin, so he'd just be like, there is a mushroom man that lives down here, and he's needed desperately to heal one of my friends. If we give you time to rest, could you take him? I know that you would not be able to take us back to the forest, but could you take him?
The bird would give a squall. You can roll a sense motive.
Squall. It flaps its wings, generates a squall.
I'm just gonna keep Neil muted at all points in time. He's the messy of this campaign. You understand that the bird understands what you're saying.
Okay. And does it
Okay.
seem willing?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
Then he would
Bird is
say-
willing.
Thank you.
It would go and lands down over in the area where the Neomycin is, and it would just kind of rest there. You can see the bird is very, very tired. It would rest for a few minutes before, of course, it's going to run off, and it is hungry after such a long... Actually, no, it's not. Those good berries give you, like, a lot of sustenance. It's not particularly hungry. So it would just rest for some time. And you would go and looking for the mushroom man. You already rolled your survival. It's pretty easy for you to find them at this point. So when you come looking through, one of the things that you'll notice as you're kind of like walking through and looking for this person is, well, the strange farm that exists here. It is strange indeed, actually. It grows a good number of different plants than maybe you otherwise would have expected. Could grow in this scenario. The soil here must be rather fertile. The amount of sunlight that it gets seems to be just enough to be able to make it happen. But more important than that, this area seems very different than what you had seen before. Actually, you would see that some of the forest here, and you probably would have noticed this kind of as you were landing, that you remember the forest being relatively full over here, that there was an area where there weren't as many trees as there was before, but maybe you're mistaken. You've never had an aerial view. But as you're actually walking through, you realize over in the region where his farm was, not immediately where his primary farm is, one with the strange plants, but a bit off to the side, there has been a clearing of trees, a decent clearing of trees. And there's an actual farm that's set up over there, like a real farm. There's also a sawmill set up, utilizing that sawmill to make some pretty large but basic structures. Like you imagine almost like barns, structures kind of set over the area. And also, you see that there's a good number of people here. As you're walking up, it's not like you're the only ones walking up to this region. Beforehand, it was literally just Shroom Man and yourselves and his plants and whatnot, maybe Idir. Not Idir, Idir. But now you actually see people kind of moving about. One of them, as you're looking through for the mushroom, walks up to you and says, Chosen? Jake, you're muted.
He's just like, yes.
I didn't know if I would ever see you again. I'm sorry, you probably don't remember me. I was one of the refugees and Rid when everything went sour. We fled when everything went sideways, and then things kept going, and then the undead came. Valoran, it does well?
It does. We are mostly safe from harm so far.
Are you still welcoming people to take refuge behind its protective wall barriers? I've heard the war is over.
I'm gonna sense motive this guy.
Sure. Of course. He doesn't
You're
trust
scared
anybody.
as fuck.
Doesn't trust anybody ever. You don't remember his face, his name, his voice, nothing, but you don't get anything weird off of him.
Seems sincere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He'd say, of course. Of course you're welcome.
It's good to hear. I wasn't sure how it had fared after the war had ended. We know, of course, that the war was won, but not, you know.
How long have you been here for?
Here, about a month or so. The undead, they're overtaking other villages and the like, and so people have kind of run and taken refuge where they could, and there's a creature, it's strange, that lives here and has been taking in as many people, lending as much aid as possible. I've seen more people from Forvin here than any other.
Could you please take me to this creature?
I think he's over by his garden. It's over by its garden, he says, kind of gesturing off.
Thank you. We'll speak again before I leave.
Nods appreciatively, of course, to everything that you have said to him. And you guys can kind of start walking off. I don't know if you say anything or do anything else, the two of you.
No, probably not.
You can roll.
While we're walking over, actually, I would say to Nathan, I would say, you heard what I said to Athena about taking the mushroom.
Yes.
I'm sorry I did not consult you, but I don't think there's another way.
Oh, whatever you think is best, honestly. That's fine with me. If you want, it could probably bring you in the mushroom. No?
I don't. She looks exhausted. We need the mushroom to get there at all haste. However, there are people here. As you just heard, this one seems to want to come back. There may be more. Maybe we should either send a message for some of the guards to be deployed, Leon to be deployed down here to come and get us, or we can try leading these people back ourselves.
I'm fine with leading them back ourselves since we have nothing else to really do, I suppose. I mean, it's a long journey back home. I'm not sure how you plan on us getting back.
How far is it from here, Scott?
Yeah, it's like 30 something miles. You guys are on the map. You can actually just.
It's like 30.1 that you did.
Boop, boop, boop. 30, 33. Sorry, but that's not exact.
How far do we go in a day?
Like 30, between 28 to 32, we'll say. Miles distance, not how far you go a day. Sorry, don't know that one.
I would guess 20 miles if we're walking through forest and such without any encounters.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the
maybe a bit
mushroom has
faster.
to say. He may want us. I don't know if he'd be a bit hesitant to leave his farm. Maybe if we stayed and guarded it while he was gone.
Okay, well, I guess
we'll work that out. I guess
we'll have that conversation first.
You guys walk over the course of 8 hours, 24 miles. You're thinking as you're already going to be tired. You're going to need rest before you can continue traveling.
Yeah. Unless they want to do it like Lord of the Rings style, where they run solidly for like 3 days. With one leading them. The mushroom man like, Nathan, like, come on, give me Mushroom Man.
That was good.
Moving on.
Good.
Yes,
I enjoyed it.
We'd go walking.
exactly. Well,
So you guys go
Yeah,
walking
so-
to find them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you inevitably find this little mushroom person that we've been talking about. You inevitably find them literally amongst their garden, growing strange plants and whatnot. You can actually roll me a knowledge nature check there, Druid man.
Knowledge nature, but I'll roll a 3 or lower.
Rolls an natty 20. Waste of a roll.
Not even above a 10.
Do you want to luck it?
No.
So you can see that there are a lot of strange plants that grow here, ones that you wouldn't expect to necessarily grow inside the climate, as I've described a bunch of times beforehand. Probably just the way he places them, the fertility of the soil, whatever it is he's able to do to pull off exactly that happening. You see the creature kind of walking amongst these different plants and whatnot that are here, these different herbs or whatever the case may be. The creature itself is stands at about maybe 5.5 feet tall, something of the like. It is a strange looking creature. It's kind of got weird stalk-like legs that are kind of brown, weird stalk-like arms, has a purplish cap to its head. It is a very strange looking creature to say the least. You've heard of these creatures and even have occasionally seen them before, Nathan, but you're not particularly familiar with them. There's one thing that you do know, though very likely you haven't really interacted with them before. There's one thing that you would know. They can't speak. They don't have vocal cords. Instead, what they do is they emit a type of spore that when you breathe it in, when it lands on your eyes, your nose, and your mouth and your ears, it can almost transmit a vibration through their spores that allow you to hear them as though they're speaking because it vibrates your eardrum for you.
Well, that's evasive. I don't like it, but I'll let
Yeah,
it.
that's horrible.
I have to let you into me before we can communicate.
It's funny. He said invasive for a second. I thought he said evasive. I was like, oh shit, one got to him.
No, not evasive, invasive. Be assertive, not insertive.
Yo.
Yeah, I would walk up to it and say, like, I guess, hello, and just wait for it to do whatever it has to do to speak back with me, and I would allow that to happen.
The creature would notice you walking towards it through its plants and whatnot, and it would finish tending to the individual plant that it's working on. Obviously, you would kind of like stand there, you say hello, and it kind of ignores you as it finishes snipping whatever plant they're pruning. And you can clearly tell the plant that it's working on. It's just being very careful. If it were to stop, it would have to try to get its hands right into the right placement again. So you kind of could share that with one if one is getting annoyed with the fact that you've approached the thing and literally 90 seconds pass and it hasn't even acknowledged you yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would be perfectly patient, but if one like shows aggravation, I would just put a hand up, like, give me a second. Give me a second.
So eventually,
I've dealt with this thing before. I know it's coming.
Eventually, it kind of takes its hands gingerly out of like the sharp barbs of whatever plant it is that it's working
Wipes
on.
them off.
And stands up and turns towards you. Again, it doesn't have eyes like we do. It doesn't have pupils and iris and so on. We can clearly see where it's looking at, but it does have dark nodules, much like you see on the back of like reptiles and whatnot, almost like those like sunspots or light spots. It has that as in areas where you'd have eyes. It's just big, darker spots on its what you could call a face. And in that area, you're able to see. It's able to kind of like see or make out the shapes of what you are. What degree of seeing and what spectrum it sees in, you don't know. You couldn't possibly know. You're not one of them. But It does eventually kind of eep out some type of spore that fills up the area around it. Eventually, the spores come to settle on you. You can choose. Just allow them to settle on you or breathe them deep.
I would breathe in.
Okay. Jake?
You would see him kind of grit his teeth if you're paying him any attention. And there'd be like a look of frustration and anger in his face. And then he just breathes deeply.
Oh, so he looks normal. So he breathes in And eventually you can feel the creature's, I guess, mind touching yours. And it would say to you, hello.
I hear you have a relationship with the people I am with. And he like gestures toward one.
One puts his hand up at you and says, "We do not currently." And then he would step forward and say, "Have we heard his name?"
You've just heard people refer to him as Myson or Myson the Tender. He doesn't seem to, if he has a name, that's the closest thing to it that you know.
Okay. I step forward and I kind of look towards the mushroom and I say, "Myson, we've met once before under different circumstances. However, I come to you today because I need your help. And you're the only one that can help us."
You can get a feeling, even though you don't hear words or anything, that it's kind of like urging you to go on. Like you can sense curiosity.
My friend is ill. He was attacked by one of the undead that turn others to things like itself. We've tried everything to heal him, but we haven't been successful. You're our last hope.
Seeming to understand, it responds saying, "That bastard Rayrin deserves what it gets. That bastard Rayrin deserves to die." Just kidding.
I love that.
How long were you sitting on that?
Can that be canon for how it speaks? All names and license speak, please.
I actually like that more than I like Kiffles.
Sorry.
Flip it.
I think you should put a poll for if it should be their canon voice.
I know.
Spore speech. That is the thing for spore speech.
No, I'm
You
just
did say
kidding.
it's vibrations.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. Sorry.
Fantastic is what that was.
That just made me happy. DJ Mason! Drop that beat.
I enjoyed that.
Sorry.
I think
You know what
that
would be
is
the
how
best
I
thing
want.
about
That is
that?
how I wanted to speak every time he speaks.
Nope, it's not gonna happen.
You know what would be the best thing about the whole DJ Myson thing? If someone who wasn't invited turned up, they'd walk in and just see everyone like, and there'd be no sound. And they'd be like, fuck.
It's one of those, you have to go with a hazmat suit or you get infected with the beat. Turn that music up! Turn that music up! Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
We have fun here. We have fun. Let's continue.
He had to actually respond, I think, but he didn't really respond because you did the voice changer. Right?
Yeah,
I said
I know.
Rayrin deserves to die twice, I think.
I'm sorry. I was laughing. I was trying to get myself back into the mood.
That's fine. Just didn't know if that was what he actually said.
More or less, you would help me. And
Will's
thank you,
so
Will.
tired of your shit.
I would respond saying, I'm going to guess it has been he has been infected.
Yes.
Yes.
Describe the wound.
I would turn to you because you're got a
Yeah.
better heal check than me.
I would describe exactly what it was like beforehand and exactly what it was like after I mutilated his body.
This is unfortunate. Have you
Yeah.
properly diagnosed this disease to confirm exactly what it is?
We haven't. We just know he's been bitten by a zombie, and we only assume it's because of that. We don't know exactly what.
We know that those specific ones do cause people bitten by them to turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have an herb that I grow here. I use it to aid others that have been bitten. But the demand for such an herb and my ability to grow it do not align. I would need much more of it for me to be able to spare some to give to this Rayrin.
So you don't have any?
I have some, yes.
You're a druid. Can you make it grow? Just touch it and make more.
Let it grow, let it grow. That actually is a spell. Check the list.
Oh God. If only I took that other magical item.
It's called plant growth. I
Yeah.
don't know what level it is.
You definitely should have auto-tuned that one as well.
Oh God, no.
Should I do it again? No.
No.
That's a song that Britt sings to Scott at night.
Let it grow. Let it grow.
Oh,
Careful,
God.
please.
Imagine hearing that from outside Raymond's room.
It would be a
Oh,
level
God.
3 spell, plant growth.
There you go. So it says to you, I do have some, yes. That's what it says to 1.
Let me just double check exactly what I would do.
1. Your response.
I would just say, please. I need him, and Valor needs him. Whilst you are healing people here, we are clearing the undead to try and stop as many of these things happening. And he is integral to that. Our cause aligns, albeit in different ways.
You can roll a diplomacy check if you'd like. And I'll give my response. He says, I'm not telling you no. I have the herb, and I am willing to give you the herb. The unfortunate circumstance that we find ourselves in is that there are many that require it. There is a queue of people that require it, and I do not value one life greater than the other. There are many others that need this and have come to my aid first. I wish to try to save them, especially since they stand here defenseless. And should one of these people turn, who would stop the turned person from spreading the infection even further to everybody else here, precariously sitting in this camp that I've constructed for them?
I would after hearing that say, could I just take a minute with 1 before we let you know a plan we may have?
You are on your time. You're not affecting me.
Okay. I would like sidebar with 1 out of. Can he still does the spores
It's
in that
rub your
I've
ass.
healed?
As you walk away, as you get like a good distance away, like 100+ feet,
Yeah.
you can eventually feel the spores almost like shuddering and falling off of you, and you
Okay.
feel that connection kind of like weakening further and
horrific.
further. But I imagine you're almost like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know.
I would say I feel like if we wait until tomorrow, I can give this man exactly what he's looking for.
We don't have that luxury of waiting. However, if he as far as I can discern, he's going to give us the herb. I don't know whether he has to administer it himself or not.
I don't think he was willing to just give it to us. I think he said what he has is in high demand and is necessary, and he won't choose one's life over a person's life over another. And he has people here who need it. So I don't think he's going to
and
just
he was
give
worried
it.
about their security as well.
I think we have to offer something of equal value in order to ensure he gives it to us, or of greater value. I don't think he wants gold. I think he wants to keep the herb. If we wait, I can give him much more herb. However, if he were to give us like a rhizome of or a root of the plant, I could perhaps grow it once we get back. I'm not sure if he's willing to part with something like that, or if we should just honestly take it from him. But really, it's up to you how pressing you think this is. Raren didn't look very good. I didn't even want to leave him alone. It was your decision to leave him alone.
The issue is pressing. I think that you should talk to him about what it is that you can do. If he's worried about security or anything like that, either myself or if you'd be willing yourself can stay while the other goes to support the people here and protect them. However, if you can convince him to give you a route or exchange something, that would be preferable.
All right, I'll see what I can do, and I'll go with whatever the best option is. Scott, judging by how Raren looked when we left, would I think there's a good chance he dies tonight without treatment, or would I think?
You honestly don't know. Raren's strong. A lesser person, probably. Raren might be able to hold on a bit more.
Okay. I would go walking back over to the Mushroom Man. I assume he started gardening something else, and it's going to take another 90 seconds before he turns to talk to me again. And
give me 1 second. So I'm trying to decide what time of day it is. I think it's 4 a.m.
It would be because it was late last night when we left.
Not late, but in the evening.
Well, yeah. And it was in the evening.
I think it's about 4 a.m. when you're seeing this person.
It's been at least 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. So your spells would reset at noon. So your spells would reset for another 6 hours from now. No, 8 hours from now.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You return.
I would walk up to him. I would start saying.
It would release the spores again.
Yep.
You guys breathe in.
Let it all happen. And I would say, we need the herb to cure the one back home, and we are willing to help however you deem fit. Is it security that you need in exchange for this herb?
Security would defend these people from the dead finding where it is that we are trying to hide. Security will not cure those already afflicted.
What if... Could you even maybe give us the roots of an herb or of a bush or something along those lines so I could take it and I could grow my own?
I really wish that it would be that easy. I have extracts that I use to try to make my herbs grow year-round, try to make them grow plentiful for situations like this, though I've never seen a situation like this. I use these extracts to keep the roots continuing to grow. If I were to give you a root, I would lose one plant. But I am not the only one that has these roots. There is another that would have some. A young girl that I met with once before. She had taken some of the root from me, and she took it back to her home.
What if I take a root from you and promise to bring back many more.
Promises are a great thing. It bonds two people that are otherwise separated. If the promise is kept. I do not doubt your honesty. I do not know you well enough to judge that character. But your ability, I don't know it. I have people here that depend on me now. And I wish to extend aid to where it is that you're referring to, just as much as I have to these people. I imagine there's more than just one suffering. I wish to lend aid to them too. But there is a line. And if I start selecting one over the other, simply because of their stature, then it sullies what it is that I'm trying to do here.
But
Sure.
with my abilities, you can save all of them.
What is it that you can offer?
I can offer growing your plant much more plentiful.
Could you do this now?
I couldn't do it, and he takes a deep breath, for quite a few hours. But we need it now to bring back to him before he dies. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do this right away for you, but I would be able to do it so that you wouldn't even have you'd never have a shortage again.
He looks to one to see what one's opinion is.
On the roll sense motive.
And you're also going to roll a diplomacy.
Okay. I will roll a terrible diplomacy check.
No, you're bound for a natty 20
one greased
all
them up.
session.
Double check that's how the
I
spell
was gonna
works.
say,
just to make sure.
did my
Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. He rolled over 10. You're going ham.
Ooh, I rolled an 11.
Woo!
Oh, yeah,
I mean, that's like triple what he usually rolls, right?
yeah.
Test 2.0.
Let me double
so-
check.
This is why I've been rolling so well today.
You just ate his luck.
if we have any luck, use it.
I don't know if you have luck or not, because again, it's fucking broken. It breaks
Do you want me
every...
to click
Oh,
the
yes.
button for you? I bet I'll
Yeah,
fix it if I
click the
click
button.
it.
Yeah. The API is like, I don't feel like working anymore.
Okay, Josh.
No, it's not Josh's fault. I swear to you, it's roll 20. What's going to happen is we're going to end the stream. All of a sudden, bloop, it's going to all appear at once.
Just blame Josh.
I'm genuinely worried about, somebody threw a luck in chat just to be sure. So if you want to use the one that somebody just threw, Will, you can roll a /1d4. But I'm genuinely worried about Lost Initiative tonight because that game doesn't function without an API. You can't roll dice without an API.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's the only way to play FFG.
API.
Will /roll
Oh
1d4.
shit.
Yeah. And I'm going to also say, that not only would I be able to help in growing of this herb, but I could make your lands, your whole entire farm, more fertile for the future.
He's like, I could help in growing another herb.
Oh, come on, don't be weird. So
But that's Ilan.
you,
Ilan can help with that.
you already got a 31 on your previous diplomacy. Then you say this, and he says,
Huh.
I believe you. Will you be willing to stay if I sends the herb?
Yes.
If you can do this, then I'd be willing to go. Sorry, I'd be willing to part with the herb.
He would nod and say, how is it that we administer this herb to the infected?
To one who is unskilled in that way.
He nods again, understanding, and he's like, there are others that know how to properly blend the herb. Are you familiar with the one that goes by the name of the Slumbering Queen? She often sends her...
I am, but we don't have time for it.
There is a young girl, I mentioned her before, who keeps this herb at home. She sometimes is here among the camp, lending aid. Not often, but she also has an interest in medicines.
Do you know how we could call for her?
Perhaps she is here in the camp. I will go and investigate and see if she lies in her tent.
Okay, we'll be here.
Thank you.
He starts walking across.
He turns to one. I turn to one like, This guy's difficult, man.
Are the spores gone?
I would wait for the spores to be gone.
Yeah,
before
you
I-
wait till they're gone.
One looks at you and through gritted teeth is just like, yep, but we need him.
Fine.
I'm
I guess I'm
liking you
staying
better
here.
by the day, Nathan.
He smiles with that. I guess I'm staying here with him.
I might. He laughs at that, and he says, "I don't know if the bird can take two people. I may be here with you."
I think we need to at least try for the bird to take two. It is a shorter distance home than it is what we've just traveled. But honestly, do you trust sending a random girl with the one thing that can save Raren alone on the back of a bird that wouldn't understand her and she has no idea where to go? I don't think I would.
He nods.
Just imagine at the keep, bird lands, little girl comes through the trapdoor. Hello?
She starts opening random doors and some type of warding glyph goes off and she dies.
Oh no.
Like,
So he goes and he comes back a bit later, about 20 minutes later, just because it's hard to find amongst all the people that are here as refugees that are set up here. Do you guys like meander around, or you just kind of just stay exactly where you are?
I would stay in the same area, but I would enjoy the garden for what it was.
The garden is actually extremely unique. Like this, before it was his other plants and herbs and whatnot that he grows, and you can definitely see like the field that he is actually growing whatever herb this is. But here is actually extremely unique. Like the crazy stuff that he grows here. You've never seen mushrooms like the mushrooms that you've seen. You've never seen some of these other strange extracts and whatnot. Like this is a very strange. You're almost like, I wish I could spend time here and study these. These are genuinely striking my curiosity. But moving on from there, eventually about 20 minutes later, he does come back, and he does come back with a girl. She's standing at about like 5'5", and she is kind of like nervously standing there and walking towards you. She's got one of those arms down, kind of like rubbing her other arm as she approaches, looking a little, frankly, like timid, if you were to say, if you were to decide. She's in her early 20s. She's kind of pale, green eyes, freckles, long auburn hair, Anyways, she comes walking up towards you guys, and once again, the spores stretch out. But before the spores even reach out to you, she's going to say, "Hi."
Nathan would say, "Hello, are you the one that can help us?"
I hope so. I'm Guinevere.
Hello, Guinevere. We have a sick. He's infected. He needs to be healed. We're going to be using the herbs. We hear you might be familiar with that. As he breathes in the air.
I hope that got everybody else off guard.
That scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god.
I was like, did like a spider land on his... Anyways, so I'll clip that. So anyways, she says, "I've helped to treat others here. I have aided and have successfully administered this more times than times that I have not successfully done so. I would be more than happy to assist you."
You'd be taking the lead on this.
That's fine. I'm confident in my ability. I've helped a few dozen already.
Are you willing to get on the back of a giant eagle?
What?
Are you willing to get on the back of a giant eagle and ride to where this man is? Time is of the essence.
Jake, I think he's mistaken.
Ah, that's a giant owl.
Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake.
Wait, what?
No,
No.
it's a giant eagle. He rolled poorly on his first time, so it was
Oh.
giant.
Oh.
And he's never been convinced otherwise. And she's like, I don't, and then you can actually hear the mushroom speaks to all of you saying, but to her, saying, a man's life depends on this. A man who, I am being told, is in the forefront of battling back the dead that walk. And she looks nervous and she's like, if he's of that great importance, if we can help the people, if we can help him, I'll do it. Thank you, sweetheart. Good morning, by the way. How are you?
What is that up for? What is that? It looks like bananas on
Singing.
Banana and
Singing.
pancake. Yeah.
Oh my god. I just love the idea that she just goes, oh, thank you, sweetheart, off the side. It's like, what the fuck?
Apparently, Rory's upset that I don't let you guys sing. I only do the singing.
Mm.
'Cause she only
Yeah,
heard me.
Rory is right.
No.
She's right.
She
Where's
should
my
always be
auto-tune?
upset with your singing. I would turn to
To be
one
fair,
and
hers
say,
it's just as bad.
she's how old?
Listen, she's a keen person.
Okay.
I expect better. If you're gonna be president one day,
You're one of those dads.
That's what we like to call a Victorian father.
I would turn to one and say, she's willing, she's able. I'm assuming she has the herb.
It's
Make
a
haste.
fork.
it's a fucking it's a salad fork, like a tossing salad fork, like a serving
You're a
fork.
Davis, get over it. You can eat with it.
It's a
like-
fork.
You're a Davis,
That's
get over it.
actually
You can eat with it.
I'm not sure if I print screen that. Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Will you were giving a response? I'm sorry.
No, I would just turn to one and say, she seems capable, she seems willing, she has the herb. Make haste.
You two roll an intelligence check real quick. Actually, not you. One roll an intelligence check real quick.
Intelligence.
Didn't get it.
Uh-oh. That's always ominous. Roll an intelligence check. What am I doing this dumb?
Her accent sounds familiar. Because she has a bit of an accent to her.
She's from Vigil. She's the one who looked after Val.
I don't know. Hearing that, I'd still address Nathan first. I'd extend my hand to shake his.
Okay.
Yeah, very
And
reach out.
he'd just say, thank you. I'll be back as soon as I can.
And he, the mushroom says, Myson, he goes by, he says, as soon as he enhances my crop, of course, he is no prisoner here. He's welcome to leave. We are making a bargain in the aid of everyone. And, chosen, after the crop is enhanced, after I can guarantee that I have enough to finish aiding anybody else that's here, all excess crop will be sent with him back to your home.
Thank you, Marson.
Is there
Services
anything
will
else?
Not go unrewarded.
He shakes his head. As he shakes his head, a couple of spores fall down, and from the bottom of the mushroom cap. And he says, "I'm not looking for rewards. We are all in this together. I ask, is there anything else that your people need? Is there a shortage of food? Is there a shortage of basic supply? I have taxed myself with aiding those nations that are less fortunate. But is there anything that I might be able to provide for yours?"
Would I know if we're lacking in certain things?
Honestly, it's one of those things where, because it's wartime, it is difficult. You're in war than this. You are kind of like, food has kind of gone bland, but luckily you have Loshev to help you with this. It's just, again, people have food. There's enough food, but there's so many times you can have potatoes and ramen noodles. You know what I mean? Like, maybe TP's a little low.
He would probably say, we're lacking food. However, there are others worse off than we are. The people of Forven are almost turning feral. Conversation for another time. Thank you, Marson.
There are those that rest here now that have a vested interest in Forvin. as you said, another time.
I would actually, quick question. How fast can the eagle fly? What's its fly speed?
When you have that spell on it, which is still on it, its speed is over an hour, 16 miles.
So
It
2
just
hours away.
now has to make checks because it's already flown 8 hours.
Right, but if
16
it's not
miles-
gonna fly like hastily, if it's gonna normal fly, because now it has 2 people on it, it's exhausted. I'm
It's
assuming
not
it
quite
can't be
exhausted
pushed.
yet. Yeah. Not quite exhausted yet. And it can kind of be pushed because it had some time to rest. But normal speed would be, sorry, 1 second. 8 miles instead of 16.
What would that equate to in like feet per round?
That's 4 miles, 4 hours to get there, isn't it?
So if you want to do feet per round, how many feet in a mile? Multiply that by 8, then divide that by 60 for how many rounds there are, right? Nope,
Yep.
by 600 for how many rounds there are. So how many miles times 8, I guess, divided by...
Units. Both of you.
So that would be 0.42. So that would be 40 feet per round.
I don't know.
All right. Basically, I'm gonna summon my air eidolon
Mhm.
and tell him to join their flight and protect. Keep a wary eye out.
Spells that you cast on yourself also apply on the Eidolon, so you would actually be able to just kind of transfer your spell onto the Eidolon. So it would also be able to have that double speed. What's the Eidolon's normal speed when flying?
50 feet per round.
It actually flies faster than the eagle does, so it
Yep.
can actually lead the eagle even.
Okay. It would stay invisible and just kind of keep a scouting look to make sure they don't get attacked by anything.
Invisible.
Yeah, invisible.
Hidden.
I like the idea of just in front of the eagle, clouds of like parting, and they don't know why.
And just in case, after he summons the air Eidolon, he reaches out and just touches one. Just kidding. All right. And so she climbs in the back of the bird.
I do not touch one.
She
Yeah,
looks
he
scared.
turns into like blades in the air.
She looks
Nothing
scared.
would happen.
She looks scared, but she does take off and go and start flying to the north. Do you
Can you make a
boys?
ride check?
Do you boys want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come right back. This whole session and some of last session, all just because Neil is terrible at combat. Sorry, everyone.